Hey Nerwalls, and welcome back to some more weight loss stories. Only a small percentage of our viewers actually subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later, so please tap subscribe to join the original 100k Nerwalls. And just binge ate, but still logged it. And just sort of went mental at lunch today. Way too much chocolate. I basically ate half of one horrible tuna sandwich, some crisps, and like 4 chocolate bars. I really have a problem with sugar addiction and binging. The lack of proper edible food at these corner shops doesn't help, but it was mainly caused by not preparing something tasty, filling, and nutritious for lunch. So it appears I blew all my calories on one meal, but that's okay. I normally feel too guilty to log when I go over, so I'm happy I've done that today. I'll still eat if I feel hungry later, but it'll be something good for me like soup and maybe some grilled fish when I get home from work. I definitely see the benefits of maintaining consistent habits like tracking and meal prep. In cognitive behavioral therapy, self-guided, I did an exercise on what a difference your response to one binge makes, choosing to recognize and get back on track immediately versus giving in and making it a day. Half a sandwich, crisps, and several chocolate bars, my guess is around 1,500 calories. Recognize it as a mistake, but not a reason to self-destruct. Eat a sensible dinner of 500 calories, and maybe go a few hundred calories over your total daily energy expenditure for the day. Not going to make a huge difference in your journey overall. Had you not recognized it as an opportunity to get back on track and kept giving it to the binge thinking because you blew it for today anyway, an hour or two later, you easily could have had another binge because you can just start again tomorrow, right? And added the other half of the crappy sandwich, don't want to waste, the rest of the bag of crisps, 2 giant bowls of cereal, my weakness, and fill in the blank. Another 1,500 to 2,000 calories. Then, before bed, just because tomorrow you'll be back on track anyway, so may as well enjoy today, you add more chocolate and other foods you've been avoiding for another 1,000 calories to the day. So about a 5,500 to 6,000 calorie day. Taking away an entire week or two of calories in, calories out progress, and strengthening the habit to give in to binge thinking, and feeling like pure garbage. Anyone who has an ED knows that 6,000 calories is not that hard to get to on a bad day. I have dealt with an ED for years, I'm still working on it, but tracking calories, being accountable for my choices has made a big difference, puts it all into perspective. Hi, I just binge ate too. I'm very guilty at first, but starting to kind of peace with this. Your post motivated me to hold myself accountable, and so I decided to track. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Still over my calorie intake though, and it's still going to be annoying to step on the scale tomorrow. Here's my reminder for tomorrow to stay on track. After eating what I wanted, it wasn't as tasty as I thought it would be. I felt nauseous because I ate too much too quickly, feeling disappointed that I'll lose progress. Those should be reasons enough to stay on track now. I did this yesterday. My mother-in-law was being very demanding and we held our boundary, yay, but afterwards we were emotionally drained and just exhausted. We ordered chips, sandwiches, and a cookie each. I still logged it. That way I can see how much I let her get to me and I can see she's not worth it. To me, it's almost more helpful to log the bad days versus the good days. I can see where I let my emotions win and then ate them, lol. Thanks for sharing. Way to handle it. I am learning to better face the food struggle. I struggle with binging late at night, anxiety, and grass, and a lifetime of food issues. And I just recently logged my binge for the first time. As I did it, I was shaking and felt like I could pass out. Didn't realize how truly anxious facing my binge made me until I did it. I'm very good at compartmentalizing my actions and behaviors that occur in fits of anxiety. I cannot tell you how freeing it felt to get that binge into my fitness pal. The feelings of freedom I felt from not hiding away from my binging tendencies far outweighed the disappointment in seeing all the calories I consumed. And because before, I of course knew I took in a very large amount of calories during my binge, but by integrating it into what mentally okay me does, tracks calories, works out, has body goals, etc., I eradicated some dissonance and felt like I was taking the first step in combining the me that takes care of herself and believes in a better future versus the one that doesn't. I had a meltdown and binge after losing 40 pounds and keeping it off for 6 months. Well, title summarizes it. Last year, I lost 40 pounds between Feb and June. Since June, I've maintained my weight at roughly 145 pounds, and as of yesterday, was actually down to 142 pounds, despite the holiday season just gone. I used Seco and running, but injured my hip very badly in June. I decided that maintaining the changes for a while was an acceptable goal as my BMI was now 23.8, and maintenance in itself is an important thing to learn. Fast forward to today, a little over 6 months later, almost a year since I first decided to lose the weight. I've learned so many good habits. I understand now that emotional eating and binging was what pushed me to 187 pounds and a BMI of 29.9. I now measure my oil when cooking, I snack on fruit, I still occasionally calorie count to keep my estimates in the right ballpark, yada yada. But today, I don't know. It's like when you've dropped your phone a bunch of times and the screen was always fine, and then you drop it half a foot to the floor and it hits on the corner and shatters. That's what it felt like. I've been upset, depressed, disappointed, scared a whole bunch this year, but fought back the urge to just eat until the pain stopped. Until today, when I just snapped, big time, and began to eat and eat, eating until it hurt, until I cried, until I no longer even wanted to eat, but just kept on going. So now I'm sitting on what I imagine is around 4,000 to 5,000 calories of food in a single day, and I feel awful in every way imaginable. I won't wake up weighing 187 pounds again tomorrow, but I feel like I've let myself down so badly. I worked so hard, I changed so much, and I was so proud of myself. Now I'm just ashamed. Thanks for reading this. If you did, I appreciate it. Hang in there. You've done so well, and this moment will pass, and there is no way this day invalidates all the hard work you've done and what you've learned. And don't let the shame or negative self-talk take over, and if anything, be extra kind to yourself. Light a candle, take a bath, write yourself a letter, whatever self-care works for you. I feel like in these moments what we need most is compassion and grace, but our default is shame and punishment, which ultimately hurts more than they help. It's okay. You acknowledge the problem, and now it is time to get back on track and move on. You might have gained 1 pound yesterday, that is still over 40 pounds below where you started. No reason to be ashamed, we all mess up sometimes. The important thing is keeping the habits. If you mess up once a year, that is so much better than most, and won't reverse all the progress you've made at all. Keep your head up. I'm sorry this happened. I'm sure it feels bad. I just want to tell you that if you live in the US, we have lived through a lot of pretty wild things just in this week. I hope that you can offer yourself some love and grace. Your body is probably reacting to feelings of stress, the difficulties you've been facing personally. That stuff is real. Your body searched for safety in a way that wasn't helpful for it. Maybe it needs some extra support and safety right now in other ways. It's okay. It's just one day. Your body is telling you that it's needing some support, and now you know and can respond. Not sure how to answer this, but you've done extremely well to lose and maintain for so long. Well done. In reality, your BMR is probably 2,000, so you only had 2,000 to 3,000 excess, which is 0.5 to 1 pounds, which is easy to get rid of. So from that sense, it isn't an issue. So then it becomes you need to look deep inside to see why you binged. Relationship stress, lockdown stress, or what I'm suspecting is probably not being able to do some form of sport to get your endorphins up. Sport makes such a difference to your mental defenses. With lockdown and your injury, maybe something as simple as walking some steps per day would help. The stepwatches are fairly cheap. Falling off plan once does not make it a habit, so the worst thing is to worry about it too much and to make it an issue. Best of luck, and fingers crossed for you. One thing that has helped me this year, and finally feels like I'm doing it different, is mindful eating. I feel like a lot of folks on calories in, calories out are trying to control what's physically going into their bodies without working on the headspace first, and then wondering why they relapse into binges and feel like prisoners maintaining for the rest of their lives. I know I was one. I started mindfulness meditation, and then my 30-day challenge this month was to mindfully eat every day. This means I journal every emotional decision or thought related to food, and wrote down what I eat each day without judgment. I got the app 8, a great mindful eating approach compared to the tyranny of MyFitnessPal, and no screens when eating, focusing on each meal. I already enjoy healthy eating and working out, so that's cool, and I'm doing fasting to lose weight. I'm also doing self-therapy by journaling and podcasts like Brain Over Binge. It's too early to tell if this approach will make me lose and maintain weight, but it definitely feels more natural, instinctive, and a lot happier. And good luck, and be kind to yourself above all else. And that brings us to the end, Narwhals. And please tap subscribe to join the original 100k Narwhals. And lastly, here's our featured Narwhal of the Day. What a difference can 9 months make? Height 168 centimeters, starting weight 88 kilos, current weight 72 kilos. I know 2020 was a sad year in so many ways, but for me, it changed my life to be so much better.